DBS community, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video, and today I'm going to be breaking down my 4 picks for the best rogue slot red decks. Now, if you guys haven't watched my breakdown of, in my opinion, the top 5 best decks in the format, go check that out. But this is going to be a breakdown of just red leaders. I picked 4 red leaders that I feel have potential to either be the best deck in the format or to be a very competitive red deck. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of these type of videos as well. I'm going to be doing one of these for each color and every time a new set comes out as well. So we will go first here into the first deck, which is going to be Launch. Launch to me is arguably maybe the best deck actually in the format when it comes to red. It is very, very close to the type of power that Red Broly puts out, but has, I think at this point, has won 2 different online tournaments, which is a lot. Red Broly has yet to win. I think Red Broly has won 1. Now, it's the fact that this set is, we're basically maybe a quarter of the way through a lot of the events, both, local and PPG qualifiers and things like that. So we're probably about a quarter, maybe halfway through already. And Launch is seeming to be a very, very powerful deck. Whether you're running multicolor, whether you're running mono red, whether you're running tricolor, this leader seems to have a lot of versatility and just draws a ton of cards. This variant here roughly goes through a very offensive, very, very, very low to the ground. I'm going to try to kill you turn 3 or 4, and I'm going to have, 12 swings on a turn. And I've seen it. It's happened to me before. So I kind of understand how this leader works a little bit. The very unique part of this leader is the drawing flip mechanic, where you are able to combo with one of your launch cards here. So you have this, and you have the promo here, as well as this Bulma card. And when you combo with one of these, you have the ability to flip a life up, and then you have the ability to flip and then draw. And the leader draws when you combo with any card, and the leader draws when it flips, and the leader can flip back and forth between both of Launch's forms. And this deck just swarms the board using the combination of the Piccolo Jr. with Alliance. You also have the Gogeta to burn. You have this Gogeta and this Champa for arrival damage. You have the Bardock combination with Beerus. It's just aggression, 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 aggression. Hell, you can even use the Supreme Kai as an aggressive tool on turn 3. If your opponent has 3 energy, you can play it out for 1. Now you have a 40k swing. It makes it very difficult to deal with. So this is my pick. I feel this leader will end up being the best red deck in the format. I want to see this deck perform a little bit more. Every time I've seen this deck play against Red Broly, it fails. If you can't beat the best deck in your color, you cannot be the best deck. So it's going to take some more work, but I think Launch will get there eventually. Next deck is going to be King Piccolo with the Demon Clan Rush type of deck. This deck is pretty crazy. This deck reminds a lot of people, including myself, of the old Vegex leader and how Vegex was just able to just swarm the board with just a storm sort of presence. And that's what this leader does. You're able to, when you combo cards off your life, and you're able to play them out, and it's just a very aggressive deck. And being a red deck, having the combination of being able to play out all this stuff, but also you have your Bardock the Resolute. Not to mention, you have good defense with Topo and After Image. This one also runs Is That All You Got? This also has access to ATP as well, which I believe this is a free blocker that has double strike and it's a free negate that has blocker and double strike, I believe. I think it revolves around the Unison. A lot of these cards revolve around having a Unison with 2 or more markers on it. And this Unison is it's a 2-drop. When your opponent activates a counter skill, you get to choose a card 10k or less and KO it. But also, it's just a +1 draw 1. That's really, really powerful. These type of Unisons, and once every color has one, I think cards like the Draw Apes will probably be dead, because you have the ability to just play a Unison that's also a swing, and you can draw a card every single turn, and it allows you to have access to different things. Like in this case for red, like Wolfang Fist. For yellow or for green, you have things like Dormant, things like that. Currently, you said this is a very powerful deck. We haven't seen a lot of it played. I think in the next few PPG qualifiers, I think we're going to start seeing some red Piccolo being played, because currently I don't think the deck's super expensive. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I know none of these cards here are very, very expensive. I think the new ruler is a little expensive. Piccolo Junior Unison maybe getting up there. The TP obviously. Then you have the Secret Rare. But I think these are the 4 most expensive cards in the deck. Everything else is pretty cheap unless you're trying to max rarity the deck out. So be on the lookout for King Piccolo. If you guys have watched any deck building videos or gameplays of King Piccolo, I would advise to watch, so you have an idea of how this leader plays, so you're not blindsided when this guy swings like 10 times in one turn and you have all these King Piccolo cards to deal with and you have no idea what's going on. So just a little tip there. Next is going to be Bulma, and Bulma was probably the best red deck in last format. Very close with Red Broly, kind of in the same position that Launch is, and Bulma's kind of fallen off a little bit. I do think there's a array of different ways you can play Bulma, but still using the Baba Bandage package is amazing, because all of your red and yellow Earthlings are blockers, and that's very, very powerful. Now this variation of the deck, we are using the Yamcha TV promo, which allows you to draw extra cards every turn, and then also the Ultimate Shinron expansion unison, which allows you to play out a 1-drop for, I think, a 1 or a 2-drop for free. So you can play out the Shu, not that you would, but you could. You can play out the Yamcha here, play out the Baba combination, but also this allows you to play out the Vegito. And this Vegito mixed with this Bardock allows it so that your opponent really can't play cards with skills, and that becomes very difficult to deal with. Very, very difficult to deal with. You have the Videl, so you can pull the Bardock back, and then just keep looping this combination. It becomes very, very annoying to deal with. Bulma has always been a very annoying deck, just having a giant wall of blockers, and I think until a deck comes out that has a incredible way of wave clearing entire boards consistently, I think Bulma will always be something that's very good. But I think a lot of the red players, unfortunately, are moving over to playing Launch right now. So Bulma won't be getting a ton of play, but you still may see her out there. So this is just a good idea for a deck for Bulma. Last but not least is going to be probably my favorite, which is going to be Cooler. Cooler has been a leader that has never really been top tier. When he came out in set 9, everyone really loved the idea of Cooler, but I think people stopped playing him just because it was okay, it's mill, and the deck just didn't feel great. Now, I think with some new red engine cards, I think this deck can be very, very good. So this deck here particularly plays the Cooler Majin Buu Hercule engine, surrounded with the Beerus super combos, so you basically can loop these cards back and forth, and you can neg cards, draw neg cards through barrier, and your leader makes them mill cards as well. Now, this particular version is actually running the Gogeta engine. So these images right here, you can't see them because for whatever reason, some of the TPs are not on DBS decks. These are the Vegeta and Son Goku Godly Auras. I'll put them on the screen here for you guys, because you guys can look at what the skills are. And these are the 2 that you are going to be using for your fusion targets. You play the 5-drop, which negs the entire board, which also will trigger your leader ability. When one of your opponent's cards are negged, you either draw a card and then they mill. So for every card that gets milled, every card that gets negged, they have to mill a card. Then you have the Technique Unleashed, which cannot be killed. And when this card swings, or when your opponent swings, you get the neg a card. I think it's 20k or 25k, which also will proc your opponent to mill a card. And if it's on your opponent's turn, you get the draw. You have the Jiren. Again, kind of the same idea. When your opponent plays a card or a unison, you can neg it, and then this card allows you to draw a card. There's so much hand manipulation for yourself, where you're just able to just keep drawing cards, and then you're manipulating your opponent's deck as you slowly mill them out. I think this is a sleeper deck. I don't think anyone currently is playing Cooler, but I think if I own these cards, I probably would play Cooler. This is a very, very strong archetype. You probably don't need the Secret Rare. You can probably play the Frieza Army Reborn one, because this card's like $600 now. Thanks, collectors. But this deck here could be very, very good. I just don't see anyone playing Cooler right now. For whatever reason, I guess people just maybe find it boring. But I think if someone is able to take this in a tournament, I would love to see this run up against the dark Brolys, the red Brolys, those kind of things, because I think the deck could potentially be pretty good in the right person's hands. But that's all I have for the video for today, guys. Make sure you guys look out for the other videos that are going to have all the different decks from each color. And hopefully you guys like these videos. Like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.